so we'll be continuing with our 2025 PYQs. Now, this is CSAT 2025. Now, read this question. How is Q related to P? How is Q related to P? Very simple question. Now, what I have told you, what kind of question this is? Is this value based question or yes and no question? Is this value based question or yes or no question? So, as you can see, how is Q related to P? So, this is a value based question. Value based question, as in you should be able to fill one relation here: brother, sister, aunt, uncle, father, mother, like this. Okay, not, you should not get something in value based question when it is called insufficient, when you get multiple answers, then it is called insufficient. Correct? So multiple answers means it is insufficient. For example, you would say that how is Q related to P? So Q is maybe mother of P or mother's sister for P, that is Masi for P. So this is not done. Okay, or let's say you say uncle or aunt, so that is also not done. Basically one word ki hi jagah hai, that if you are able to fill, then it is fine, otherwise it's not. Now let's read the question. So first thing it says, P has two sisters R and S. So this is P. I don't know the gender of P. P has two sisters. Sisters means they'll be female. R and S. I am denoting females by round and male by square. And if I am not showing any of these, that means I don't know the gender of them. So P, R, S. Now, P has two sisters R and S. R's father is the brother of Q. So R's father, who's R's father? Let's call it F only. So R's father is brother of Q. R's father is the brother of Q. So R's father, so that's why I've already made him male, is brother of Q. Now, do I know the gender of Q? No, I don't know. Correct? Like, if I tell you that I am brother to one of my siblings, what does this mean? Do I have a sister or a smaller brother? Do you know this? No, I am just telling you I am brother to one of my siblings. Now you don't know if it is a girl that I am talking about or it is a boy that I am talking about. So sibling relations, you will only know here that R's father is the brother of Q. So this is brother, so he is male, but I don't know Q. Q can be a female, can be a male. Now, so if I take statement wise, then of course first statement is not enough. Why? Because P has two sisters R and S. Abhi to Q aaya tak nahi hai. If Q has not even arrived, then how it will be an answer? Then first statement gone. Second statement, if you take second statement in isolation, R's father is brother of Q. So R's father is brother of Q. Now again, P abhi aaya nahi hai. In this, there is no P. So how you will find relation between Q and P? So this is also gone. Now both of them together is this diagram that I am trying here. Now can you tell me the relation of how is Q related to P? How is Q related to P? क्या लगती है Q P की, या क्या लगता है Q P का? Okay, now can you tell this? Actually you cannot. Why? Because you know P's father's sibling is this Q. Now Q may be P's aunt or P's uncle, depending on the gender of Q. So unless and until I am not told about the gender of Q, you cannot get to the answer. How is Q related to P? I don't know, even after using both the statements, because it can be P's aunt or P's uncle. You understand this? Correct? Chacha और बुआ को एक ही तो नहीं मान लेते हो ना? Correct? They are very different entities, and you have only one space to fill here. Always think this in your mind, that I have a very small space, I can fill only one word or one number here. That's it in value based questions. Now, so basically it cannot be answered even by using all the statements together. Understood? Now, so gender, if you see, we have also done more questions related to this. So if you see blood relations and you see the question type as data sufficiency, at this intersection if you see some question, gender is the main thing. Sufficiency or insufficiency will in most cases will be decided by can you guess the gender or not. Here you were not able to guess the gender, that's why it became insufficient. Always remember this. If these two are getting intersected, be very focused on genders. Don't assign gender randomly. Don't solve the question just by feeling that Q must be brother so uncle ho gaya. Not like that. Be very focused. That is what they are making you wrong by. That is not giving you the genders and making it insufficient. Now next. Now it says in a football match, team P playing against Q was behind by 3 goals with 10 minutes remaining. Does team P win the match? Okay, interesting. So does P team win the match? Now what are the possibilities? This is I am asking you before 10 minutes. Okay, when this question is being written, then what will be the goal of PQ? What do you think? What are the possibilities? Q is 3 goals ahead of P. Then how many goals? Minimum P के कितने गोल हो सकते हैं? P can have 0 goals, correct? Football देखा होगा ना इतना. So if the goals are like 0 and 3, then also you say P is behind by 3 goals. Also maybe 1 and 4, maybe 2 and 5. You get the point. Like this. Correct? Score line will look this or this or this or something like this. Now let's see if I can I right now answer does P team win the match? I don't know, because I don't know what happened in the last 10 minutes. So at end time I will now write the whatever I feel would be the score line. Now can I tell now? No, I don't know. Now let's read the first statement. Team P scored 4 goals in the last 10 minutes. If team P scored 4 goals in the last 10 minutes, what do I get to? Let's take this one. So P goes to 4. P goes to 4. Now do I know anything about Q? P ने 4 गोल मारे in the last 10 minutes. ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है कि Q ने उसी समय 5 गोल मार दिए. You don't know. Correct. In those 10 minutes, P got 4 goals and Q got 5 goals. Then you don't know if P won or not. Or it may be that P only got all 4 goals and Q didn't get any goals. Then this score line can be 4-3. Correct? 4-3. That means even. Or it can also be, let's say Q also scored 2 goals in that 10 minutes, last 10 minutes. So this becomes 4 and 5. Then Q, who wins? Q wins. Now can you get to a particular answer? It is asking you, does P team win the match? So it is a yes or no question. Can you tell if this is saying yes, this is saying no? So yes and no, insufficient. So first statement is gone. Now second statement. Team Q scored a total of 4 goals in the match. Team Q scored total of 4 goals in the match. Now, does this help you in any way? Team Q scored 4 goals in total in the match. Now, let's try to get to Q to 4 goals. So, I don't know how much P scored. Same logic. Because I don't know how much P scored, you are just telling me that Q scored 4 goals. I don't know still. Correct? Does not matter how much Q has scored, how much P has scored. What matters is who scored more to decide who won the match. So this of course is also not enough. But if I combine them together, then I know Q has to be 4. Q has to be 4. Now see. So if I combine them together, then what are the possibilities? So if they started with 0-3, then let's say, let's take the first statement correct. That is team P scored 4 goals in the last 10 minutes. So P got 4 goals. क्योंकि पहले तो गोल थे नहीं. Now they got 4 goals. Now Q in the meanwhile, it says Q scored a total of 4 goals in the match. So must be that Q scored one more goal to get total 4 goals in the match. So this is the final score at the final time. Now, what is the result, by the way? What is the result here? This score line, what is the result? 4-4 draw. Does P win? No. Actually, P does not win, does not lose. Correct? Now, second. Let's say score of P and Q was initially 1 and 4. 1 and 4. Now what will happen? Team Q scored a total of 4 goals in the match. So this remains 4. This remains 4, and it says Team P scored 5 goals in the last 10 minutes. So 1 goal they already had, then they scored 4 goals more. So how much they get to? They get to 5. Can you see this? Both jump is of +4 and +4. Here it was already 4, so I kept it as it is, because at the end Q scored only 4 goals. Now what is the result here? What is the result here? 5 and 4. So this means P wins. Understood? So here you are getting draw, here you are getting that P wins. Others also you will get P wins. Okay, if you consider both of them together, all of the times you will get P wins, but here you are getting draw, and that is an issue. So what is the question? Does Team P win the match? Does P team win the match? According to this, yes, it wins the match. But according to this, does Team P win the match? No, they don't, because it went for a draw. So that means you are getting yes and no both. That is, even together, they are not enough. The question cannot be answered even using any of the statements. So even together, it is not giving you any sufficient cause for an answer. By the way, yeah, that's it. Then next, this is the last question. We have done all the questions of data sufficiency. Now this is the last one. Okay, this is the end. Now last one is fairly easy also, so you'll also feel good if you are doing it carefully. Okay, now see, some things now that you learn in number system, that defines where they will switch it to get to a tricky data sufficiency question. Okay, for example, once you see this is P plus Q whole square minus 4PQ, where PQ are natural numbers, positive. Once you see this expression I also tell in class, this is an expression for what? If you know, this is an expression for P minus Q whole square, or Q minus P whole square, both of these. Okay, this, how you remember this is actually by this, P plus Q whole square minus P minus Q whole square is equals to 4PQ. In this form is what you remember it as. Okay, so basically if you send 4PQ here, you get P minus Q whole square is equals to this. Now one thing that you need to always understand is x minus y whole square or y minus x whole square. These are actually the same thing. Why they are same thing? See, if I open them, this becomes x square plus y square minus 2xy. Now x and y I multiply, xy and yx is same. 2 into 3 or 4 into 2 into 3 or 3 into 2 is the same thing. Here also I will get x square plus y square minus 2xy. So these are exactly same. So always remember there are two possibilities. It may be x minus y whole square or y minus x whole square. That is what they are trying to check here. Now see. So it is asking you, is this thing positive? Now see, is this thing positive? Now as I told you, this is equal to this or this, does not matter. Correct? Now let's take one of them. So let's say this thing is equivalent to P minus Q whole square. Now, is this greater than 0 is the question. Correct? Now, is this greater than 0 is the question. You should get a definite yes or a definite no. Now, p minus q is greater than 0. Can I solve this without using any statements? Yeah, D option. The question can be answered even without using any of the statements. Can I solve this without using any statement? Many students think that this is wrong. Why this is wrong? Because it is asking you, is this positive? Now, there is always one possibility that P and Q are equal. It is not given they are distinct. If P and Q becomes equal, P is equals to Q, then this becomes what? P minus Q whole square is equals to 0. Is 0 greater than 0? No. They are actually equal. So here what you will say is P minus Q whole square positive for P is equals to Q? No. For P is equals to Q, they are not positive. Correct? But for any other thing, if P is greater than Q, then you will get something like 2, 3, 1.2, whatever. If you square it, it will be always positive. So P greater than Q works. Also, Q greater than P also works. Why? Because it's the same thing. Now, instead of plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, you will get, let's say, minus 1 whole square, minus 2 whole square, minus 3 whole square, like this. Minus 1 whole square is 1 positive. This is 4. This is 9. All these are positive. Now, because they are positive, then you can say that yes, it is still positive. So this works, this also works. But what does not work is when P is equals to Q. So this you must tell me that P is greater than Q, I am fine with it. P is less than Q, I am fine with it. But if you don't tell me anything, you cannot get to the answer because P can be equal to Q. So statement 1 is what? P is less than Q. Yes, this works for me. Then P is less than Q, then P is greater than Q. Yes, this also works for me. Separately, both of them work for me. Okay, so the question can be answered by using one of the statement, but cannot now. The question can be answered by using either statement. That is, B becomes your answer. Understood? Simple. Okay, so you have to, just by seeing the question, if you do enough practice of all these chapters, if you do them well, then you would know that where they might be tricking you. Okay, the only thing that you need to focus on in data sufficiency is to understand the fringe cases. For example, here equality is a fringe case. Okay, when we are talking about prime numbers, I told you about 2 is always the fringe case. When we are talking about numbers, natural numbers, integers like this, then 0 is always a fringe case. Correct? 0, 1, these are special numbers. So like that you have to, in blood relations we saw, what is the fringe case? That is gender, specifying, have they specified the gender or not? This is the fringe case. So be very careful. Okay, like in the last question where you had goals and all, so the fringe case that is giving you another answer, that is draw, is only 0 and 3. Again, they are using that the team may have scored 0 goals also. So always look for these fringe cases, and fringe cases are usually at extremes. For example, 0 was the extreme of how many minimum goals they could have, or they are at some special cases. For example, 1 is a very special case, 0 is a very special number. Correct? Prime numbers are very special. So like that, either they lie on the special numbers, or they will lie at some of the extremes. So always check that. If you get hold of this fringe cases, and whenever you are taking cases, you include them, then you will get to the right answer. Please don't ignore this video. Okay, even if you are finding data sufficiency a little difficult, you have to do this, because in 2024 they gave 10 questions, and UPSC, in 2023 they gave all those in GS paper, they gave all those questions of assertion reason, as well as that how many of them are correct. 48 questions were, how many of them are correct. So it becomes very challenging at that time. That's why they may give a lot of data sufficiency questions anytime. So please, if you are afraid of them, Just give them time. Okay, they are nothing new, just a new type. We have done 37, all questions have been done here. Okay, this will act as a very good base for you. After that, when you are giving mocks or you when solve more and more data sufficiency questions, get comfortable with them. I don't suggest to leave them. Okay, many people suggest because they get tricky sometimes, but I think you can do this. Okay, so hopefully you like these lectures. Thank you.